Hey people, Five Aces here, reporting back in action after I'd been gone AWOL for a while. Yeah, sorry for that little unwarranted break. I actually was really busy in real life. So for those of you who have not yet been filled in, we are expecting our conscript number 3, and he is due in a couple months, so presumably on the 8th of April if everything goes okay. And it's just been a super busy time, you know, supporting my wife, or I mean partner, but technically already wife, I guess. And yeah, it's just been a super stressful time between rotating between the job, my second studies, and also supporting a pregnant, fantastic woman. It's been a wild ride, but we're back with some OpenRA, and as promised last time, we're back where we left off. This is the second, or no, not the second leg, sorry. So the TDGL had a super convoluted scheme where basically everything ended in a 3-way tie, and some of those matches apparently were crazy. The one that we casted last time I left off in Tiberian Dawn was Orb versus Borgmo, and Borgmo basically wiped the floor with Orb. It was a 3-0, spoiler alert. So this is Orb's redemption arc. He is now in the bronze match, whereas Borgmo has moved on to the finals. That's the one we're going to be covering next time. This time it's the bronze match of TDGL 2023, season number, I don't even actually know. Yeah, let's introduce our players to the bottom left. Nudels. Also going by his invert name Sledun. I've seen him play by that moniker a couple times. And his opponent, as promised, is Mr. Orb, who has just started pumping out buggies relentlessly, because Bike and Buggy is really fun to play and also really good in the early game. Stealth planes are coming in hot. This is a very good change. I like that a lot because it makes the left versus right imbalance for Nod way more palatable, or it actually sort of removes it except for the delivery time. But I think that has been normalized as well. So it's 3 buggies, it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, just against 2 buggies and with the shorter reinforcement routes, there is no chance of this inflicting any structural damage whatsoever. Oh, they actually went covert ops. That's pretty cool. Oh, they found the bike though. That is an expensive trade already. Bikes, notoriously expensive. I think 500 a pop. And now at least the Nord buggies can spawn camp whatever is being delivered here. Oh, it's a harvester. RIP! No dice. No damage to be had here. He's just parking next to the con yard, you know. Little Toyota convention. Orb, I remember him fondly for making the Toyota Rush popular back when we were playing Crush, Kill and Destroy on stream. There's also, by the way, another mod that has been built in OpenRA and that has been highly praised, that I'm really looking forward to taking a look at some point in time. That is Dorf, D-O-R-F. It has actually gotten coverage from a big German-speaking video games publication, as far as I'm aware. Man, these guys are just still sitting there. Something wrong with the handbrakes, my friends? Or are you just chilling? Looks like a lot of chilling. There is no... Oh, comm center has arrived, so the light tank is able to shoo them away. And the buggies are scrambling and scurrying. There is... What the hell is this build? Okay, there is a longbow rush plus flame tanks. This is very hit or miss. So Orb is kind of going all in with this one, because all of these units can be pushed back by a tank easily, but at the same rate that's not the plan. His game plan is trying to flank with the flame tank, whereas those guys are just a little distraction. But honestly, an experienced TD player would know that something is amiss, because you see the opponent's forces. You see it's 4 buggies. Yeah, something's fishy here. Okay, we're now transitioning to more bikes as well. Probably just trying to poke them around a little. I mean, this is really just a scout, nothing else. He didn't invest all that much, and there is no anti-air here whatsoever, so the Toyotas are gonna have to suffer for the time being. Very nice shift queue as well, doesn't waste any ammo on light tanks. And that is a little raid. Ooh! Actually, he got to single out a lot of the non-buggies already. So Noodles is under a little bit of pressure. This pressure build from Orb is working so far, and it only cost him the investment for the helipad plus 1 longbow. That is not half bad in all honesty. And as long as the dedicated anti-air units aren't out, which they are now, Mobile Sam is out, so... But there were Kingmakers on the field, because for a little while at least. Because not buggy rockets are very notorious for not tracking far enough to actually kill a moving air target. Or land target for that matter. Still good units, but only on frontal assaults. Okay, he's posturing, trying to get the ore track down. It's not the ore track, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so singling out some of the rockets, but there is still Mobile Sam just waiting in the back. Harvester didn't go down. Oh, I hear the flame tank. Oh my goodness, that has already scorched a refinery. Toasty! I wanna have a widget where the Mortal Kombat guy just jumps into the screen right now. Oh, that would be sick. That's something I'm gonna have to work on. Oh, light tank still sitting around, but the flame tank has wisened up. Has actually gotten a really good position here. Ooh, splat goes the infantry. Yeah. So you see, the Mobile Sam is a very good dedicated anti-air unit because it's got insane range and insane tracking range as well. So they got repurposed if you have played the originals. And I'm, by the way, playing through the remasters campaigns of Tiberian Dawn on hard at the moment. And some of these missions are a pain in the arse. And these things were surface-to-air missiles, surface-to-surface missiles in the original. So they were really fun units to use. Quite some range. Oh, that's also something I wanted to point out earlier. The oil derricks have thus far not been contested by either player. So, a lot of money being left on the ground, basically. Repair facilities out. Very good airplay by Orb. Just constantly singling out rocket soldiers. He only lost one Apache for now. That was really worthwhile. Just trimming the horde a little, giving it a little shave. So as a result of these shenanigans, I would say that Noodles is behind by quite a bit, not that much. Just 2k for the time being. The spent is completely dead even. Flame Tank is still waiting in the wings, by the way. Also, Orb has gotten a very forward oil derrick, so his income should pull ahead now. Or he should pull ahead in terms of income anytime. In terms of army, I think they're both fairly even. Oh, it's actually Noodles with the larger army. Didn't expect that. Both on 2 airstrips, both producing full capacity, plus Orb's got some of his longbows still alive. I would have expected him to have the larger army, but apparently, nope, not the case. Hey, Flame Tank, you ready for round 2? Sneaky, sneaky. While you're at it, kill the church, because there's always... Scorch the church, there is always a crate underneath. I've learned that from the campaigns, or relearned, is what more accurate terminology. I have certainly played this game before, just not the remasters. Ooh, is the airstrike ready? Yeah, there's the airstrike. That was a very predictable... Honestly, I feel like that was on Noodles. That was super predictable. Oh, the Mobile Sam is still alive. No chance for the helicopters to breach, and as a result, I feel like Orb is starting to fall behind a little here, in terms of the army. Very good hit and run, very good kiting. But the reinforcements are around. Dedicated anti-air, still nowhere to be seen. What about the flame tank? Oh no, it got killed. This is trench warfare, man, this is World War I. Giving me some World War I vibes here. Sitting in the trenches, the lines have been drawn. Man, we're doing that in school right now. It's not a light subject to joke about. But yeah, in the video game context, I'll take it any day of the week. Alrighty. Let's see, is there a tier 3 transition on the way? Doesn't look like it. Ooh, the E10 wreckage looks nice. Third base is being taken by Noodles, but likewise by Orb, so both players just going for super standard econ timings. As soon as the secondary main base is mined out, you move on to the third. I feel like Orb's army still, Nudels is still ahead. Somehow. By the way, don't... If you build those chain link fences, don't let them lull you into a false sense of security. Because those are not safe at all. They can be busted through in a heartbeat. I feel Orb should be ahead in the income department now, because yeah, he is. Because he's had most of the derricks for so long. Man, what a tense game. So see, if those things hit, if the recon bikes connect, they do an insane amount of damage. But yeah, if they just whiff, they don't do shit. Mobile Sam hasn't been repaired. Both of the pushes from Orb have been thwarted on both fronts, huh? What about the support powers? Orb is still on a 2-minute timer. Where did the airstrike from Nudels go? I hadn't completely missed it. Because he's had his comm center for quite a while now. It's been the first to build a comm center in this game. Okay, engineer. Is he gonna take the hospital? Is that gonna provide him with the necessary medical supplies to procure a victory? We'll find out. Oh man, the trench warfare, look at this. That's just a material battle. That is really no one going for any crazy flanks, no one going for some value trades. Both players just maxing out, macroing up. And honestly, just playing it extremely safe. Rocket soldiers, by the way, not a good idea to leave unattended. Apaches can relatively reliably pick them off one by one. Look at this. Tank sledgehammer is getting into position. Oh, Nudels knows what's coming, somehow. It's his gamer sense telling him, my opponent has tried to connect on the right-hand side. It failed. Where is he gonna move next? Oh, I wonder. Let's take the coin flip. Only one mob. No, okay, there's a second mobile Sam here. But still, anti-air is relatively scarce. And granted, the air forces of Orb are pretty much the equivalent of the Austrian Air Force, except, you know, you still have a couple Draken and Gripen sitting around, but they're not able to fly. As soon as there is anything more than a little drizzle, they're not allowed to take off. So good times there. I actually don't think we have Apaches. No sir. Man, the widest front I've ever seen. This is all gonna come to head. At some point it's either gonna be someone trying the sledgehammer tactic and concentrating all the forces. Okay, tier 3. Now we're cooking. We're cooking with depleted uranium, which is gonna be enriched here in this little baking oven. The baking oven of Cain, as it's called. Ooh, artilleries as well. That is such a good call. That is the best call for breaking a stalemate. Oh yes, that was exactly what was missing here. Sure, they die, but they have done their job. They have certainly paid their dues. Oh, and here's the chem troopers marching forward. Oh, the rockets in this... Oh my goodness, in this group. This combat group is so lethal. Man. Oh, there's a Visceroid! 2 Visceroids! Oh, we're gonna be seeing some Visceroid rage. I mean, those chem troopers... airstrike on a lot of infantry. Not sure if that was a good value proposition, but hey, it looked pretty. Will Derrick is still not being contested. Should just blow it up, really. Man, there's another squad of chem warriors. Yeah, the counter-artillery had to come out at some point. That was just the inevitable. Okay, now everything is heating up a little. Nudels does still have his airstrike ready. There is 20 seconds, actually. Alright, the chem troop is not connecting too well for now. Oh, but there's an obelisk of light directly pointed at the blossom tree. Also, the artillery, as soon as it connects on this blob, that's gonna be the go button. Not yet. Not yet. I mean, Apache also chipping in a couple shots. Oh, that's gonna be a good airstrike. Yikes! That was a lot of infantry. Plus a metric fuck ton of artilleries. I mean, it was 3 artilleries, but still. But it appears to be the case that Orb is winning. He's also... Oh my goodness. This harvester ain't going nowhere. My friend, I think you have overplayed your hand. Nudels' Conyard is going down, and the artilleries I don't think can change much about that anymore. Yep. It's looking increasingly like this blob can't be stopped anymore. Let's see how good is the arc defense gonna be. Defense, defense, defense. They're lining up their shots. That's some really good shots, but I doubt it's gonna be enough. No, it certainly doesn't look like it. Force is overwhelming. Man, what a game. Like 10 minutes of absolutely no action into a constant slugfest. Whew, that was something. This is a best of 5, I believe. So we're gonna be right back after these messages from our non-existent sponsors. Stay tuned.
Battle control terminated.
And we're back in game number 2 being played live from Tiberian Rift. Hell yeah. With the haymaker in the top left, it is Orb. Just put himself ahead at a 1-0 and seemingly effortlessly so after 15 minutes of trench warfare. And his opponent, who is gonna be left behind but needs to catch up by any means necessary, it is Mr. Nudels. There is gonna be a couple of rifles, probably 5 rifles into NG. No, only 2. I mean, the rush distances are relatively long here. And Mr. Oh, he doesn't have a name. Damn. They all have names in some of the mods. It appears to be the case. At least the huts do have names. So it's Ali. So Ali is posing no threat here. He looks like a chill hippie look. This sprite, I think he does have long hair. Right? Ali's a chill dude, it seems. Or maybe he just doesn't want anything to do with those guys with the guns. The automated machine guns. Actually, canonically, I think it's miniguns. If you look at their armaments, they're called minigunners as well. It's with their like 1 cell range, that's a pretty shit minigun. Right, that's what? 3 cells? Ooh, okay. Engineer not in peril. Nope. Orc tried. Gets a... Ooh, nice. Nudels catches the engineer. The blind engineer. That was pretty good. So this time it's not versus GDI, so no mirror matches. And also no chance of artilleries appearing, because those are sometimes absolutely game-breaking when it's in a not mirror. And you've got the battle lines drawn. So, weapons factory, is it going to be an APC? Yes. That is the most reliable choice here, relatively sturdy. MCV is moving on out to the 3rd base already, whereas Noodle is staying on his 1 base, and probably he's going to opt into moving north. Engineer in the APC this time around. Doesn't want to make this mistake a second time. Out comes the APC. Pew, pew, pew. I love those guns. They do shit for damage. Look at this. Especially to infantry, but it's so hilarious. Like some armor-piercing rounds, I guess. Okay, not buggy for Noodles, gets shaved off. And as a result, this army is gonna march forward. Oil Derrick has now been claimed by Orb. Lubas's hut has been destroyed. Man, this war is certainly producing some casualties here. Construction yard is very much not under threat. Oh, don't build infantry. Yeah, Noodles has immediately stopped the infantry production. If there were an engineer, this would actually be really scary. Except, oh, Noodles has also cancelled his field defense, but Orb obviously doesn't know. She doesn't know. Oh, that would be so sick. Ending the game with just an engineer rush. Yeah, I mean, you've got the APC sitting right there. Build the guard tower. It is not covering the full battle of the Conyard, so this is a very risky move. But it obviously can always deploy before it enters. There is sometimes a bug where the engineer still gets the capture off and then captures an unpacked MCV. I don't know if that's been fixed, but it used to be the case that this was working. There's just a little assembly of not buggies. Double airstrip already out for Nudels, so he's trying to stay on tier 0, so this time around it's probably going to be a very different game. Orb also has his expansion out, so he's just going to be mass-producing APCs. This army from Nudels is relatively easy to counter. I don't like that at all. For now it's only buggies, and even if the bikes start appearing, with a sufficient number of Humvees and especially with APCs to soak up damage, this just gets eaten alive. Yeah, look at the APC. This thing isn't taking damage here. This can stay for so long. Even against these forces overwhelming. This can sit here for a while. Let's see. Turret's turning. We are ready. Okay, are we gonna be seeing some tech? No, not for the time being. This is a straight up tier 0 game. This is usually favoring the Nod player. Nod wants the game to remain on tier 0, because their tier 0 is actually lethal. Whereas, there are so little bikes, there's only 2 for now, third coming in. Whereas GEI on tier 0, they're not all that scary for a base. They can't crack bases open with APCs. Those things don't do damage. Just the way it is. A little bit against light armored targets, but... Oh no, is he overcommitting? Ooh, that was kind of nasty. Orb is targeting down all the recon bikes. Really good focus fire with the APCs. At the end of the day, though, is he... Man, who does that favor? Frankly, I have no clue. This is just an all-around bloodbath. I still feel it should be favoring Nudels. I mean, a good trade, in loose air quotes. Ooh, yeah, Orb has the smaller army by a large margin. Needs to commit for the oil derrick now. That's not worth it. Oh no! Very late reaction from Nudels. The pullback came a little too late. Here comes the infantry, so at least that's something. Man, forces being traded, blows being traded, and at the end of the day what's left standing is 0 cash for Nudels. He failed to expand on time, huh? Does he only have 1 harvester? No? What's going on? Oh, he built a 3rd airstrip. That kind of explains it. That is kind of the logical result of you refusing to take up or take a timely expansion. Yeah, there is the recon horde immediately pulling back. Grenadiers are now being mixed in. This gets a lot trickier for Nod now because they're on tier 0 still with the investment into the 3rd airstrip, and this Conliard move hasn't yet paid off. So he's still running on still paying off his mortgage, basically. Running on fumes in terms of economy. Look at this. That is quite the discrepancy. And he doesn't have an airstrike either. This could be the big ticket. Orb still is 3 minutes off as well. So a little time to play around with, but you certainly want to take up. Mediums are now starting to appear, and those things are really hard to counter. If you don't have a nice wall of recons that is hidden behind in the back lines. And even then your focus fire must be perfect. Range is also not the greatest on the recon bike, so that's a very, very tricky game to play. Oh, yep, Grenadiers have been revealed. Peace out! Fortunately, one thing that counters them, moving targets. And Nod's tier 0 is nothing if not mobile. Oh, are we gonna have this again? Just trench warfare. Alright, alright. We too can play at this game, I guess. Not too many medium tanks for now just yet, but such a boatload of Grenadiers. That's D-Day revisited. Okay. Recons are just posturing, not inflicting any damage whatsoever for the time being. Is there a 3rd weapons factory? No. Orb has got really good econ setup, and I feel Nudels has failed to hit the timings. Oh, also this oil derrick has belonged to Orb for a long time. This has given him some intel that this, as to that this blossom tree has not been harvested from for a long time. So he probably is going to feel very confident about moving forward here. Rightfully so, because Nudels has no tech. Nudels also has the lower income. He has a 10k asset deficiency here. Yeah, and the army is speaking for itself. A wall of grenadiers is now knocking on Nudels' doorstep. It's not looking good for him. Game number 2. Just a build order fail, refusing to tech up in time. And he's gonna pay dearly for it. He's gonna get turned into minced meat. The grenadiers are basically unstoppable without an airstrike. There is no artilleries either. Oh no, look at this. It's being pushed back all the way. Frantically trying to build buggies against the grenadiers. Okay. Okay, he has been pushed back, but the resurgence with the second wave. GG, yeah. Oh yeah, on the north end side as well. There was nothing to be done here. That was a straight up build order fail from Nudels, refusing to tech up or take the map with economy. And that just led to Orb being able to capitalize on his tech lead, pushing in with Grants. Oh, those things are scary. Right away, that puts us at a 2-0 up, and off we go into game number 3. See you in a sec.
Battle control terminated.
Round 3, fight. This is Warzone, again with the traditional hospital. This is a very interesting map because you can't really get to that thing unless you purchase a helicopter. Not worth it. Not worth it in the slightest. Unless you're already going for some Chinook cheese and then just decide to throw in an engineer for good measure. But that is not usually something that happens. Let's just put it in a diplomatic manner. That is certainly not happening and certainly not in competitive. But hey, we've got Nod for Orb this time around and GDI for Nudels, so faction reversal. Let's see how this is gonna pan out. Nudels has a... His stubbornness is refusing to take up earlier has cost him a lot. Cost him game number 2. Orb is moving on to the southern derrick, probably just going for an engineer as well. Yep, he is lucky that there is no scout into the base from Nudels, because that would actually have a good shot at killing the engineer with that timing. Oh, double engie as well. Okay, so out comes the first Tiberian refinery for both. There is no double shenanigans for either. But that's not really traditional TD. Usually Russian weapons factory. Orb still has a guard tower ready, fearing some sort of cheese, but it ain't StarCraft, so no proxy, no 2-hatch, or proxy, what is it? 6 pool? Or proxy pylon? Or nonsense like that. That ain't happening here. Ren Rush is always a viable thing, but it's more so in RA than in TD. Because in TD they're locked behind tier 2. So yeah, not that rushy anymore. Miniguns for Orb, the Death Squad is waiting. Just waiting to embrace him with their loving arms and not so loving firearms. Yep, Engineer is gonna book it. Where is he going? Okay, north end side is also going to be claimed by Orb. So nice little early econ lead. He's also gone for a buggy now, just a little scouting tool. Ooh, this is going to be a tense fight if he manages to catch the engineer off guard. Trying to find an angle. He knows that the engineer is there. Ooh, nice. Catches it off guard and also retains the buggies. Micro failure for Nudels. Failed to target down the buggy in time. And as a result, it's going to be left far behind here. That's a 1k discrepancy already. 14k assets versus 11k. It's just not going Nudels' way at all. Unlike... oh, you know what? There's also some games that I really want to cost, but I don't want to spoil anything here. Those were games between Mr. Nudels and a very particular player whom I deemed top tier in Tiberian Dawn, but apparently he got blasted. And even though I somewhat know the end result, I haven't watched individual matches, so I really won't cast that. But no spoilers. Alright, out comes the comm center, so is that a tank transition? Orb is staying on one base. That is super interesting, because this is a very econ-starved map. Blossom trees are going to be running out of Tiberium anytime soon. So I feel like this is a map like Patches, where you have to move out early on, and decisively so. Just a recon being parked here. Nudels, I feel, is playing without scouting information. He is too scared to move out on the map, especially now after having lost those early game skirmishes. He's already 2k behind, and he feels like he can't really find an engagement against Orb unless it's on his terms. So he's not trying to force anything. He's just sitting in his base, playing it super safe. Just a little Toyota drive-by, just Tiberian Dawn things. Is there gonna be a second airstrip? Or another refinery? Okay. Yeah, okay, that's something that Orb desperately needed. He's moved out to his southern expansion, is taking a third refinery now. He's probably also gonna transition to harvesters. Plus he's got an LT ready to move out. The first of many. The progenitor of his tank class. Recons in front, that's never a good idea. But hey. Barracks are coming online. No, that's the second barracks. Ooh, is there gonna be mass infantry build? This could be viable at running, at overrunning. Especially not without tier 2. Before they have artilleries. That is a viable strategy. Most certainly. But the army definitely still favoring Orb. So I don't know how much success he's gonna have with that. Assets have now evened out though. The cash flow is relatively stable. That's somehow not what I expected. Nudels again with his signature. Spread your army across the entire base build. Oh, he's gonna pay for it. Maybe by taking a chunk on the harvester. The target fire not that great here from Nudels. He's left most of the damage dealers alive. Has put a lot of damage here onto the tanks and not onto the bikes. So as a result, army graph, we're gonna see it plummet in just a little. Flatlining now, gonna plummet in a hot second. Also, Orb is really good at repairing his stuff. Always building a repair facility. That got decreased in price, so it's now really affordable. I think it's 600 or something. Something ridiculously cheap anyway. Emerald S are now coming out for Nudels. That's a very good answer to the T0 shenanigans of Nod. Not too mass infantry though. Pincer between two armies is the army of Orb. Oh, this tank has bitten off a lot more than it could chew. Yikes. Really good micro from Orb. He's always leaving the counter units on guard. So you see the rocket soldiers nestled in the back, and they're being protected by a frontline shield of minigunners. Now the tanks are being split off. I think this is a masterclass here in army movement. Oh. Oh, is he going for the Conyard? He actually has the DPS to do this, right? And simultaneously is moving in with his entire forces. I think that is going to be a dead Conyard. There is no way of salvaging this anymore. Oh! Oh no! Nudels just refusing to move his MCV. I think he could have saved that. That's a big problem. Oh no, all the rockets are being eaten alive here. GG. And connecting onto the rocket launchers are the tanks. This was a decisive game number 3. This is not the Nudels that we got to know and love from the matches. No wait, that was Borgmo. Borgmo against the Oof. Okay, so congratulations to both those players. Nudels for taking 4th spot and Orb for being in the ranks with rank number 3. So really good hustle there, good display. The games I feel were subsequently less close than the previous ones. Game number 1, extremely tense on a knife's edge and just decided by that one push. Game number 2, fairly more of a stock standard affair. Game number 3, that was just a spiraling out of control for Nudels. And Orb can crown himself the bronze champion of TDGL. Let's see if that is actually... Wait. Huh, he's not claimed it. He should. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll be finally backer than ever, within the semi-regular schedule. Unlike those 10 days where it just went AWOL, so apologies again for that. Just real life interfering in a big way. But we should be back on track and everything's fine. Everything's sorted out. So, see you. Some more content for Company of Heroes 2 coming as well, and I have actually recorded Shadow Paradise. I just need to figure out a way how to decrease the bitrate without making the videos almost 100 gigs, because that is not something I'll upload. YouTube servers are not gonna like this. This one trick. YouTube administrators hate it. Okay, thank you for watching. That's it for now. 5 Aces out.
Battle control terminated.